Well, I'll tell you what, things get better and better on YouTube. Rift Raft Radio, what the fuck? And what the fuck is an appropriate title? Like, what the fuck? Because they don't know what the fuck.
Rift Raft Radio! Just that this is the best fucking show in the Philippine YouTube community, and you came to the right place. Number one hate show.
Let's examine some of the characters we have on there. And of course, folks, this is just all in fun, of course. We got this guy called Popeye. Well, Popeye in the spinach can?
Lost 23 grand in a bar. Okay? You know, they're kind of equal in my book.
And we got Dave. Oh, Dave Phelps. Well, he takes this inhaler, you know.
Shut that fucking mic off. It must be the cheapest fucking mic I've ever heard in my life.
The philosopher, the psychologist, the political analyst. Rift Raft Radio, what the fuck? Maybe I'll meet you on the bridge sometime and I'll buy you a Slurpee. Rift Raft Radio, what the fuck? 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 Rift Raft Radio, what the fuck?
And there we go. We're back on the air again for another shining classic episode of Riff Raff Radio. How is everybody tonight?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Peachy King.
Excellent.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Welcome to everyone who is in the live chat right now. We start out with 50 people. That's not too bad. Interesting topics tonight, I believe. And let me introduce you to the panel tonight. Dave P., Gwentong Baliw.
Hello.
Florida Bob from Popeye 1, a.k.a. Popeye, and Robert. And I believe later on we will have a few guests coming on the panel as well. I heard that Will Wonks would like to come on the panel maybe in an hour or so. He is still busy, but I also sent him out.
I don't like him. He can't come on the panel.
Damn it.
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Let's start this out, man.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple of things I want to say. First and foremost, let's start at the beginning with this bullshit argument with Bam Bam. It all started out when we called him an e-bagger. Flash forward to when I put out rules and regulations on... Yeah, when I put rules and regulations out on SSD and SSI. That torqued his ass. It shouldn't have torqued his ass because if he wasn't a fraud, he wouldn't have got mad. And he threatened to hit me with a brick if I came to Philippines. Then flash forward, somebody had a grand idea, took a shit, and the shill was born. Oh, hallelujah. They have a very interesting panel. They pass out online. They snore. They go 8 hours to see if they can get 8,000 views. Very, very astute and outstanding channel. I mean, sure, that's, if you don't get my sarcasm, you're either fucking stupid or you're like the shill. Okay, what is it? Now, then enters, don't let me forget this. Then when before the shill was born, let's see, they come out, they said harass my familia, harass my neighbors, harass their daughters and sons. I want to know what time they had their period, which was quite disturbing. All right. And then Aloe turned around and gave a response that I did not agree with. I didn't want to go to that level. Okay. But he gave his response. And hey, you know what? Fuck you, Aloe. That's the way you feel about it. That's what you want to do. Go for it. All right. And I'm not responsible for what Aloe says. He's not responsible for what I say. Then enter Johnny Warrior. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, enter Johnny Warrior. He sets up back channels and he put on a show with Baguio Life and pulled me into that show. And he tried to get Bama on there so we could kiss and make up. Okay. Well, there's no kissing, there's no fucking making up, there's none of that shit because the guy's a fucking criminal. And every time I tell Johnny Warrior the guy's a criminal, he gets butthurt. Well, that's just the way it is. He's a criminal, proven criminal. So is the other guy. The other guy's actually a convict. He's been in prison. Okay, there's a big difference. So the other guy's a convict. Let's get it right. You know, I don't want to upset anybody and call anybody what they aren't. Let's get the facts straight. You got a criminal and a convict running a channel, which is really cute. And it's the beginning of the week. They haven't gone live or anything because they're spending their SSD money. And they will come live again when the SSD money runs out, maybe in another day or so, and they sober up. Okay. That is a nutshell for you at the shill. Now, then Johnny Warrior set up these back channel and he come to me and he said, well, look, if you take down all the videos, he will take down all his videos. And I said, no, he needs to come on my show and apologize. I never got a clear-cut answer for him. I never asked Johnny Warrior to do a back channel and broker a peace between me and Bama. Never asked him to. He just did it. In a small way, I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate it in a small way. In another way, it kind of pissed me off because I can handle my own business. I can handle my own argument. All right. I don't need somebody fucking white knighting for me. I didn't ask him to do it. He just fucking did it. He just stuck his fucking nose in. And now that he stuck his nose in, we flash forward to the Chit Chat show. Well, what's this motherfucker doing now? He did not like it when he got civil discourse. And I listened to the Jeremy video. I listened to Quentin Ballou's video before the show while I was having my fine Colombian coffee. And I listened to Quentin Ballou, and he made a lot of good points in his video. Okay? And yes, I'm a firm believer every situation is fluid. Okay? Everybody has the right to have a change of heart. Now, yeah, if you're going to use me, I'm just going to tell you flat out, I'm not going to be your Eric. All right? I'm not the guy that's going to sit on your shoulder and squawk and repeat everything you say. And if you can't answer questions, if you want to come on my channel and just bloviate and go tan ta and then everybody sings kumbaya fucking ya at the end of it, no, that's not what the Popeye One channel was about. And you were not paying attention to what my channel was about. I have plenty of civil discourse on my channel. We have plenty of civil discourse on this channel. All right. And I will give you a prime example. I am always at odds with John Doe because I don't like a lot of things that he says. Now, me, Aloe, and Dave had civil discourse over it. We talked about it. We did not yell at each other. We did not cry, "You're putting my back against the wall," uh, or any of that shit. Okay? We had a very constructive conversation about it. Now, as you all know, I did boot that motherfucker off here when I got pissed. And you know something? When I'm wrong, I can admit it. And I was wrong to boot that motherfucker off here. And I listened to Dave's point of view, and I listened to Alo's point of view, and they listened to my point of view about it. And we came to an agreement. That's what civil discourse is all about. Okay. I don't have to give you the blow by blow content of that conversation. There is no need because the outcome, John Doe is still welcome on this panel, and the link is out there for him, and he can come on. Now, on the latest vlog that I did was a response vlog, and because somebody was on a show, namely JW, and at the end of the show, he did not realize his mic was hot. He didn't. And it's fucking hilarious. People will say the darndest things when they don't realize the mic is hot. And he started talking about me. And he talked earlier about me in that show, which is fine. I don't give a shit. But you know what? If you're going to come to me and you're going to cry about Discord, how somebody said something about your wife, and what they said about your wife was pretty fucking innocuous because I finally got to read it. Okay? And if your skin is that fucking thin, and his agenda, he wants Discord to go away, he wants the shill to go away, he wants to. This is his agenda, and this is the way I see it. And you gentlemen can disagree with me if you like. And I won't put your back against the wall, and I won't point my finger at you and say, "You fucking assholes agree with me," or else, you know. And it's fucking silly. All right, if you got something to say to me, say it. I'm not going to put on a show that's a facade and do the backfighting in the background. No, I'm not going to fucking do it. It's not going to fucking happen. All right? And get used to it. Get used to RRR. We are going to be here until we're ready to close shop. And I can guarantee you when we close shop, all you cocksuckers out there will miss us. You will be holding your dicks and wondering what to fucking do and what to fucking talk about. And if that sounds a little braggadocious to you, pick the corn out of my shit and eat it because it's the goddamn truth. All you have to do is go around to any of these fucking shows and what are they talking about? Did you hear what Popeye said on RRR? Did you hear what Dave said on RR? And did you hear what Aloe said on RR? And the rest of them and what they're talking about? Okay? Oh, you know what? You named the show perfect. Pop goes the Weasel because the Weasel popped this week. Guaranteed. All right? And if he doesn't like my words, fuck off. Because on my last vlog, I told him, if you want some civil discourse, motherfucker, get your ass on RRR and have it out with John Doe. Okay? And my last point is, number one, he's pissed at Discord. Number two, he's pissed at John Doe. All right? And number three, he wants to drive this fucking agenda where he takes over a show. All right? Now he's moved to over there with Eric, whatever that fucking show is now, and it's going to be all positive. Well, tell me, how can it be all positive when motherfuckers are in your chat from the shill, the same motherfuckers who said I was a baby rapist, the same motherfuckers that said they were going to harass my family. The same motherfuckers that physically threatened me, the same motherfuckers that said shitty things about my children, okay? And now you got the gall to put out a fucking goddamn fucking blog called Flip Flop Jack whatever, and tell and bring up shit that Aloe did last year, okay? There's your other point of contention. You fucking hate Aloe, okay? Well, if you're going to let your hate and your grudges get in the way of what you're doing, you will never succeed at anything. Plain and simple as that. Okay? And, dude, John Doe, if you're out there, you better wake up, you old crusty cocksucker. Get your ass on the show. And JW, get your ass on the show and have it out and show everybody some civil discourse. And then you and JD can hold each other's hand and sing Kumbaya at the end of it. But I highly fucking doubt that will happen. All right? And I'm not going to put up with your fucking bullshit. Okay? Don't talk to me about loyalty. Because you know what? This ain't the fucking wardroom where everybody puts on a facade. All right? And if anybody doesn't understand what a wardroom is, it's a place on a ship or on a base where officers meet to eat, greet, and have conversations. Okay? And they're supposed to be gentlemanly about it. You're not going to drive that on YouTube. People want fucking views. People want to be number one. That's the way it is on YouTube. It's dog eat dog. Get fucking used to it. And fucking RRR is eating the living shit out of all the rest of the beta fucking dogs running this shit in this very small community. And you don't like it. All right? And when you're only getting 20, 30 views for the shit you're putting out, when you're only getting fucking 8 people listening to you bloviate through the whole fucking vlog without even giving the other person a real chance to speak. Keep doing it. I mean, how many shows you start with Eric that have failed? Fucking the bunghole, the foxhole failed. I mean, there's so many I can't fucking name them. Fail after fail after fail. All right? How many times do you have to fail before you realize your agenda is not going to work? All right? It's the sheer definition of fucking insanity is what it is. Okay? You keep doing the same thing over and over, but you fail. You get the same fucking result. It's failure. That's insane. Okay? And then to turn around and say that PV and a few others are making sense, you're really showing your thin skin and you're really showing what you classify as fucking butthurt. Okay? You know what? I think you need to take the red pill. Skip the fucking blue pill, dude. All right? If you don't like what I have to say, fine. All right? Don't really give a shit anymore. Fucking done with the miscreants. I'm done with the malcontents. And I'm done with the fucking backstabbers. Plain and fucking simple. Thank you, gentlemen.
Anytime. We got John Doe in here, too.
Well, Aloe, you still with us? You're awful quiet.
No, I'm listening. I'm here. I'm listening, and I'm waiting for John Doe's reaction to this because that was a very interesting intro speech there, Popeye.
Thank you.
John Doe, do you hear us?
Yes, loud and clear.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to be
Yeah,
here.
don't hurry to speak up or anything. You know?
No. I'm catching my breath. Yeah, it's kind of weird how I fit into all of this. I mean, I've had a kind of a short history with the individual we're talking about, and my very short interaction on his channel, of course, had resulted in my immediately being blocked. So that immediately identified him as a very thin-skinned scumbag. The type of guy I dislike on YouTube, the type of guy that if I catch him off his channel, he's going to get trashed and bashed because he's trying to protect his thin-skinned ass on his own channel. Now, just as a disclaimer here, I fully support LGBTQ rights. So I have nothing against gay people, the homosexuals. I just want to throw that disclaimer in, because this individual we're talking about is very effeminate in his manners, very effeminate in his speech. But that's not an issue with me. I mean, I like I said, I don't, I wouldn't rule a homosexual out as a friend, so that wouldn't immediately remove him from my friends list or a friend potential. And when he comes on all these other shows, if I pop online, he'll run off the show because he likes to talk shit about me, and then when I come on to confront him, he'll run off the show. But when he's on other people's shows and he jibber jabbers with them, there's always a lot of conversation about ass, man ass normally, which is, I mean, I understand, if you're a feminine guy, you're going to be talking about man ass a lot. So, the show last week, Popeye was talking about Bummer, and he was talking about back channel communications with Bummer, which I found amusing. I found that amusing. It was like a kind of a very official, formal way of saying he had a conversation with Bummer. He referred it to as back channel communication. So toward the end of the show, I came on and I said I had a back channel communication with this individual, and he wanted to know who had the bigger dick. Was it Bummer or was it Larry? So after that, all hell broke loose, and he got all twisted and bent out of shape over something that was no more than a joke. And then he had some conversations with the Riff Raff crew. And of course, he wanted me eliminated from Riff Raff Radio. He wanted me eliminated from Discord. And of course, other things happened, like some of my private conversations on Discord was copied by that individual by the name of Eric and given to him, and that lit him up even more. So, I mean, I came on. I'm willing to have a conversation with him if he was willing to talk, but he doesn't seem interested. But he's very interested in going on of Bummer's worthless shows and buddying up with that piece of trash, low-life, toothless scumbag. So I guess they must have something in common, that he likes him. So that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Wow. Well, John Doe is John Doe as always. Do I agree with everything he said there? Probably not. Should I be contentious about it? Should I call him on the carpet? Because I was told I have to call people on the carpet. I've been told what to do. That I should have called you on the carpet, John Doe, for your joke. And I was told even on my own show that somebody wanted to correct my perception of things. I took great umbrage with that, and the more I thought about it, the more I said, you know what? Um, Number one, I don't work for you. Number two, I'm not your little fucking brother. And then he said he was a 48-year-old man and he would be treated with respect. So he pulled the age card out with me. So, but I did not retort with, I am a 57-year-old man and I'm older than you and you will treat me with respect. No, I didn't retort with that because a lot of times it's not about age or who's older or who's better, you know, shit like that. So for now on, I guess I have to call you on the carpet for everything you say. And if you bash JW, I, I have to make you explain yourself. You know what I mean? So you're just going to have to put up with that, John Doe. What do you think of that?
Well, isn't JW a big boy and can't he fight his own battles if he feels? I don't think there's an issue here, but if he feels there's an issue and wants to discuss it, I mean, I'm here to discuss it. You don't have to be his big brother or his protector or his spokesperson.
Oh, okay. I just thought I'd try this little devil's advocate thing
Right.
shit out because it seems like he won't show, you know?
Well, can I put a disclaimer out there?
Yeah.
I have
You
nothing
could
against,
disclaim anything you want.
I don't have anything against JW or Eric. I'm on the fence on this one, okay? So that's where I'm at. Thank you.
Okay.
Pussy.
He's on the fence with Ren. That's like getting to be a crowded fence.
Yes, I am. And what of it?
Be careful, that fence may break under the weight.
Now, I have an important question for Aloe.
Yes,
Like,
please.
okay. You sent me a link to a video.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
I will just call it the Jeremy video.
Yeah.
And I was under time constraint, a lot of time constraint this morning because I got up a little later, made my coffee. You know, I don't have to. I don't have to go to a job or anything, and you know, because I only make 10K a year. You know, that's good enough. And could you give me an overview of what you thought about that video?
Well, first of all, I would like to explain a little bit something about that, because I was browsing the internet and usually I would go over to Discord and talk to the guys there, chit chat a little bit with them. And then I saw in the general section that someone posted the link to that live stream, and I caught around 20 minutes of the live stream, the last part of the live stream. And of course, I went back and after the live stream was over, I went back and then listened to the whole live stream. That was after I also listened to the live stream of Dave earlier. And I believe that Jeremy has put out that live stream as a reaction to the live stream earlier on Dave's Kwentong Baliw. So, what can I say about it? First of all, I have to say that I'm not, I have no communication with Jeremy. I have not uh, commented on any of his blogs. But I went back there and looked not only at the live stream that we are talking about now, but also other vlogs that he did. And then I catched a vlog about racism in the Philippines. And he did an interview with a guy named Steve in the city of Pattaya. And I found it very interesting, the content that he has put out, the interviews that he did. And I must say the guy has good editing skills. And I also must say that when he did that vlog about racism in the Philippines, he made a lot of sense. And yeah, that's what I think. That vlog that you talk about, where I send you the link, where I said, hey, take a look, let me know what you think about this, is a very interesting vlog. And I would like you guys to go over there to Jeremy Klotfelter's channel and check it out, because the name of it is, I believe, What Really Happened in the Philippines, where he talks about his situation, his experience, and his side of the story. And as you know, there's always another side of the story. If you are in any way related to Jeremy, I would like to tell you guys that I don't know if you comment on his channel, or if you have communication with him, or if he maybe is listening to this, maybe now or later on. But I would just like to tell Jeremy, I would like to publicly take the chance publicly to apologize to him out of several reasons. One reason is, and you all remember that I participated in that mob, in that anti-Jeremy mob, couple of months and weeks ago, where I on several live streams mocked his name, made fun of him, also to a certain degree also verbally attacked him, and I think that was wrong. And I'm talking only about my role in it, because I believe, unlike with other vloggers, I really do not know what happened, what really took place, because unlike with other vloggers, where we witnessed it on live streams, when they attacked people, when they verbally abused people, when they threatened people, we saw that on a live stream, and how these people treat certain individuals, women, for instance. We saw that. And that's why we have the right to have an opinion about what we just saw on a live stream. And somebody pounds on the table and yells and treats his girlfriend bad, then we know what kind of person we are dealing with. We have also seen the criminal records of certain people. We have also seen Facebook videos where they talk about how they treated their wives. So that's why we were able to, or we had the right to have an opinion about it. But in the case of Jeremy, I have not seen anything, any video, or any soundbite where he did what other people said he did. What I see there is a guy who is doing his thing. Of course, he's a little bit, how should I say, quirky or different or unconventional, whatever you want to call it. But all of us, in some ways, are a little bit different. That's why we are here. That's why we're on YouTube.
Yes, Aloe, you are very different. That's for sure.
So let me tell you this. I think that my role in that what I call witch hunt was absolutely wrong, and I wouldn't do it again, because I somehow got carried away and said, "Hey, there's a guy that we declare a target. Let's go after him. Tell me everything you know about him. Let's mock him. Let's engage in this, participate in a smear campaign." And that's what I did when I said he is a loser, he is a fraudster, and so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, when I really think about what do I really know about this guy, and there is really not much. Because judging on his vlogs alone, based on his vlogs alone, the guy, you can agree to that or not, but the guy is putting out good content, and he is a real travel vlogger. The guy goes around, has been in the Philippines, is in Thailand, goes from Pattaya to Bangkok and different places. So at the end of the day, I think that what he is doing is a real contribution to the expat blogging community. And again, I believe that there is more to the story, and it was good that he finally gave us his side of the story. And I believe he made a lot of sense in many ways. That's my take on it. I would like to hear from you guys what you think
Yeah.
about that blog.
I want to know what happened to Aloe,
Why?
the real Aloe. After
Why?
again
What do
this,
you mean?
I want to know what you guys did with Aloe. Come on, tell me what you
Okay.
guys did with them.
What do you mean by that, Roberta?
Oh, just another side of you that we don't see that much. That's all.
No, the thing is this: do we really know what happened? Do we really have the right to judge this guy and build a fucking mob where we go after him, where we actually, or where I engaged or participated in a fucking smear campaign? And because I do not know anything about this guy. He has never, ever attacked me. He has never, ever said anything negative about me.
Well, you should have
Now,
known. You should have known things were going sideways when who was leading the charge.
yeah,
It was
considering the source of
Right,
information,
exactly.
considering the source of information, and that's what I am doing right now. I must say, it doesn't only make me very hesitant and careful now. It also somehow convinces me that there really must have been another side to that story. And no offense meant, but over on Discord and also in the Facebook Messenger, I receive messages where people say, "Hey, did you see that vlog on Jeremy Clotfelter's channel? I think he is saying the truth." That's what I heard. Then there are other guys who said, "You know what? It might be that Jeremy is not the sharpest crayon in the box, but I think he might be right." And that's exactly what I believe is needed here. You know, the other side of the story, to listen to the other side of the story. And I do not want to attack somebody or call out someone who has never ever attacked me. And I believe none of the guys that I usually talk to. Do we really have a right to judge a person based on a story that was given to us, or that was, based on information that were given to us about something that we were not there, we were not present, we didn't see it on a live stream, we didn't hear it, we didn't have any sound bites of it? I believe that I owe him an apology. And I apologize to him right now, right here, because I will absolutely not engage in any smear campaign anymore against Jeremy Clotfelter. Because and I'm not saying that the others did. All I'm saying is that I did. What I did was a smear campaign. Because that's exactly what it is. I went out there and say, "Hey, did you see that guy? The guy's a loser. He's a fraudster," and so on and so forth. I don't really remember exactly what I said, but I know that I have attacked him several times.
I want to say something at this point. Am I coming through?
Yes.
Great. I'm going to even say this. I listened to what he had to say, and given the actions of what JW's been doing, I'm willing to wait for more information to come in before I say anything else or judge the dude at all. Maybe we made a mistake. I don't know. we're going to find out eventually. I don't know when we're going to find out, but we'll find out eventually. But given JW's current behavior and the fact that he's over there cavorting with people that that have been trashing us and saying really terrible things about us, and just hanging out with them and having them in the chat and everything, I'm willing to say maybe I misjudged him.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of a pattern there. Generally, people usually support others when they, in exchange for maybe loyalty, and they are very willing to look the other way. When it's your guys doing something, it doesn't really mean that you will call them out for something just because you are the friend of that person. And I think that's a little bit of a problem. And I believe that's what is going on right now here. And since Roberto is on the channel, I don't want to throw you under the bus, Roberto, but you and I know exactly that certain people, when we started the Riff Raff Radio show, that certain people also talk to you, Roberto, and try to talk you out of your role on Riff Raff Radio, even before we started a show. And that shows that we were not even given the chance to put up a show 1 or 2 and then be judged. And this is something that I have seen and heard of, not only in the last few weeks and months, but also over on my channel. People were contacted before they even came on the show, and they were told, do not go on Alo's channel, it's a hate channel. Do not go on Riff Raff Radio's show, it's a hate show. And people were told, hey, you've changed, you shouldn't be on that panel, you shouldn't be on that show. People get all kinds of messages not to go on our show. And obviously it didn't work, because right now we have 90 plus people listening to Riff Raff Radio. My opinion about this is there are certain people who despise what we do here. They despise the show, and they despise all of the members on this panel or certain members of this panel. They do not understand. They do not understand. There are many people. They do not understand what we are doing here. But at the end of the day, you should have enough tolerance to accept that the people who listen to this show, and there are really people out there who send us messages of support, and they say, you're doing a great show, it's great entertainment. You have to accept that these people will choose by themselves what they want to listen to. If you guys want to do a positive channel, more power to you. If you want to talk about hotel reviews and where to get a cheap ticket to the Philippines, or unboxing videos, or all kinds of stuff, there is always a place for that. And you can do that on your channel, or you guys who listen to these channels, you have the choice. But do not talk down on our subscribers or on our guys who want to have a choice. They want to listen to Riff Raff Radio because it is what they call a hate channel or about drama. You cannot have that arrogance and just say, what Alo does is just hate. What Dave does, that's Dave does this, starts these hate channels. You are entitled to your opinion. Absolutely, there's no problem with that. And you can attack, of course, or call out any member of this panel. It's absolutely okay. If you have a problem with John Doe, for instance, it's absolutely okay that you call him out for it. But you can do that in a way where you do not attack the whole panel or start to try to steer our channel, Riff Raff Radio, into a certain direction. And that is what has happened in the last few weeks. That certain individuals come to you, contact you, and say, look, I'm your friend, I want to help you. And I never really trusted these kind of people. I play along. I say, okay, that's a good idea. Let's talk. Let's have communication. But I never really trusted certain people in this community, and I will never trust them. And what we see now is exactly what I always knew anyway. Certain people are absolutely not happy with the fact that something like this, something that they despise, riffraff radio, which they call a trash channel, gets 100 plus people when they go on air. None of these guys has ever reached that point. They do, and some of their logs never really even get half of our views. And that shows you that they must feel jealous about this. They cannot understand the fact that a show like this gets that much attention. And obviously they believe that they have a mission, that their channel is so much better, that their channel is so much more relevant. And in my opinion, I have no problem with that. If somebody thinks they are better than us, if somebody thinks that they have the moral high ground, or that they are more intellectual than us, or that they are more positive, or that they contribute to the community, absolutely okay. But they fail to see and realize the true nature of Riffraff Radio. And Riffraff Radio is a channel who is basically doing what Dave and I started in early 2017 with the Quentong Belief Show, where it's entertainment, where you joke around. Sometimes it's silly, sometimes it's what they call drama or hate channel, but sometimes it's just a place where people, like-minded people, come together and just talk a little bit bullshit and have a good time, together with the guys who listen to us, together with the guys who are our subscribers. Because at the end of the day, it's always your choice if you want to listen to us or not. Nobody tells you, hey, you need to listen to us, you need to come on the Riffraff Radio, or you need to sub to our channel. It's your choice. So how can you be so arrogant and just call us a fucking trash channel and so on and so forth? Because at the end of the day, we do these shows because of the people who sub to us, because they want this kind of entertainment. Whether that's good or bad, that's something else. You can discuss about that. But the numbers and the views are a reflection of the desire of certain people who just want this kind of channel. And that's why we built a channel like this together with you guys. And I have not seen any channel in the Philippines YouTube community who has done a better job than we did. Because people obviously come here because they have fun. Some people get upset. Some people say, it's a total shit show. But at the end of the day, why are you here? Every single one of you, the 102 people who are listening right now, why are you still here if you hate us so much? If you think that this is so fucking boring, there are other channels out there. And you feel free to listen to those channels. We are not here to force you to anything, and that's what this is all about. And since I'm explaining you a few things, also let me tell you this. For a very long time now, people say, Alo is the great manipulator. Alo is the guy who has, and sooner or later it will get to that point.
Master.
Exactly. And let me just tell you this. Sooner or later it will get to that point where people will say, or certain individuals will say, it's all Alo's fault. That's why Jay, Bama, Dave, and Popeye are not getting along, because Aloe manipulated them. And that's an insult in itself. I can take it. When people say Aloe is a manipulator, for me that's a compliment. But it is an insult. It is an insult to Dave and to Popeye. And I tell you why. Because it means that you make them look like sheeps, stupid idiots who will let themselves be manipulated. And that's a very, very too easy explanation of what is really going on. Because at the end of the day, you have to look at the facts. And it is a fact that Dave was threatened several times. It is a fact that people doxed Popeye. And that didn't happen because I told them to attack Bama and Jay. And I also didn't tell Bama and Jay to attack you guys. So I basically have really no role in this. I'm not the guy who tells you what you need to do. And you guys also don't tell me what I should do or what I can say and what I can't. And that is another very important factor that you need to look at. People here on the panel, they are independent. They do what they do. There's a lot of things that I do not agree to, and there's a lot of things that I agree to. That's obviously the common factor. The common factor that we how should I say?
Have in common.
Yeah, that is what we have in common. We are
Hey,
somehow
Al,
like-minded people.
Let me interject here about this
Please.
Journey video. You sent me that link. I reviewed it. The only thing you asked me is what I thought about it. You did not tell me what I should think about it. Okay? And I want to give you an Oscar for your award-winning performance on that apology. and the reason why I say that is because I think it's a little too early in the game to issue an apology. Okay? This is where I disagree with you. And because I skipped through the video and I heard what he had to say. And it was quite interesting. And I will tell you my part in this. At one point, I was going to get into it and really start smearing him. And I did a little bit. And I was told by two factions, I'll be quite honest, Beg Your Life and JW, to just stay out of it because don't talk about it. We got something in the background cooking, and he's going to be a sorry motherfucker for everything he did. That's what I was told. Okay? And then we come up on the motorcycle, the Honda Click. All right. And he talks about that in his video. And I kind of listened to what he had to say, and I mulled it over and I mulled it over. And then I thought to myself, well, how can I believe him? And how can I believe JW? Now, what my role in this Honda Click thing, and Dave, and your role was in it, we did a GoFundMe to get her out of trouble, get Haney out of trouble.
Yep.
That was what was portrayed to us. And lo and fucking behold, I contributed to that. And because I assessed the situation and I figured, wow, this girl's in trouble. This will be a hand up, not a hand out. Okay? That's how I felt about it. And I got plenty of thank yous for that. That weren't even needed. I just did it because somebody was in trouble, and it had to be fixed. And the reason why it had to be fixed, because that type of behavior makes all expats look bad. That's why I did it. Okay? I didn't do it solely to white knight her because there's this phenomenon going on around the internet that, oh, you're just white knighting for her. Oh, you're this and that. And I don't know if I was manipulated or not. And I am going to side with Dave on this and wait for more information to come out.
You know,
But
despite
let me
yes,
finish. I am leaning. I am leaning the other way, man. And if I have to issue an apology, I'm not going to be fucking too happy about it.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not going to be happy about it. But you know what? I'll be a fucking man and I'll fucking do it. All right.
let me
And that's what it's about.
yeah. Let me just tell you what you did, what you guys organized. Regarding the situation with the scooter helping the lady out was absolutely, I think that's very noble, because despite obviously she was in trouble and she needed help, and helping her out, that's a noble thing. I think that's absolutely something that nothing to be ashamed of, no matter what the reasons are uh, of her getting into that trouble. Some said it's because of Jeremy, and others believe there's more to it. And these are the two camps. And whatever it is, at the end of the day, you helped somebody out who had had trouble to pay these monthly payments, and that is a good thing. So there's nothing to apologize for that, and it's actually noble. But I believe that my role in it was that I did like what many other guys did. We just started to bash the guy, or I started to bash the guy. For obviously for me, there was no reason to do that, because what do we really know? There are no sound bites. There are no live streams or vlogs
Yeah, like there was proof with
with that other guy. With that
that
other
other
guy.
guy. And that other
Exactly.
guy, all you
And
have to
that's the
do is
difference. And
watch
that's
his
exactly
vlogs.
the difference. And that's
Yeah.
exactly the difference. That's exactly the difference. Because if you
That's
look,
why I'm on the fence right now, and I feel an
Oh.
apology
Let
isn't
me
warranted just yet.
okay, yeah, I understand.
let me jump in here because people accuse me of never saying anything on here. If you accuse me of never saying anything on here, audience, go listen to my show. I can talk for an hour straight, 2 hours straight.
Yeah, he can.
And I lose my voice and I have to go off the air. And I kind of lost my voice earlier today, and I had to walk my daughter around a little bit. And yeah. Before I do, though, I want to ask Roberto. I heard the car chiming. Did you have to get out and take like an emergency poop or something like that?
No, that was my seatbelt. I don't have my seatbelt on.
You dirty bastard! I can't stand people like you. You know you're gonna get killed.
Yeah.
Too fat for a seatbelt.
You need an explainer. That's the truth. God damn, man. Straight up. God damn it. Hey, listen, I wanted to reiterate something here I talked about earlier. And that's the reason I might revise my opinion. It's based on honesty versus dishonesty. When somebody goes and lights off a show in their defense about that's basically a personal attack on me and Popeye because he couldn't handle a couple of questions, it makes me question everything about his being, because I look back over the history that Allo and I have with him, and he got us put under heavy scrutiny with the Terrence Flannery crew because we allowed him on there to talk. Nobody stepped in and fucking helped us when that happened. We had JLB making vlog after vlog about us. This was back in the experimental days when we were learning how to field these things and what to do, and we had to strategize and stuff like that. I don't dig that kind of stuff. You fast forward to today, and I look over the history of it, and all the stuff he says. Well, Dave's getting angry about this. Dave argues with me about this. It's because he's gone on all these shows where they've been taking a dump on me or Popeye or Aloe or any of the other guys and chummed up with them. Well, I just want to be flexible, blah, 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 blah. And then he doesn't understand why I'm mad. No, I'm just being too controlling or I'm being butthurt. That's the answer that we get. When he's angry, it's righteous anger. When you're angry, it's butthurt because that's a great way to deflect any responsibility for what you've done. And that's the truth about the matter. We have now Will Wonks, and who else do we have? Because I got this thing set at low res. We got Roberta, but we got Will Wonks on the channel now too. So what's going on, Will?
Hey guys, I don't know. I'm kind of late to the party. Who you got? Who are you referring to?
JW.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll cut him some slack. I really think he has issues, and he's talked about with his PTSD, and he's behaving like he does. The bipolar behavior, this destructive self-destruction. I mean, those are classic. I'm not an expert at this. I'm an SME in another subject, but these are classic PTSD symptoms from what I read from the people I know.
Okay. But if that's the truth, why would you be on here trying to put your finger in every pot and manipulate things?
Well, that's how PTSD. I mean, that's how bipolar works. One day you're the life of the party. You're a wonderful person. The next person, you're like Jekyll and Hyde. You're just going crazy at everyone, attacking everyone. You're your worst enemy.
Yeah, then you should be getting treated, or you should be doing something else that doesn't cause you that undue stress and cause you those manic episodes and stuff like that. I'm not an expert, so I'm only saying based on what knowledge I have about this kind of stuff. It's not the same thing as bipolarism, is it?
Bipolar is the term that means changing.
Two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's known to cause bipolar, and he might have had it before. I just know back over a year ago when I said there was some weird stuff with him, I got hammered. I was anti-vet. I was anti-this, and we had gotten some emails from people. Remember that Aloe that warned us that he was dangerous, that he was a threat, that we should back off because our safety was in danger. We didn't know where these emails came from, and we wondered if they came from him himself as a false flag operation. But we were wondering what the whole, and all I did was question why somebody in the military, after 20 years in the military, attained the rank of big thing. I mean, he explained it, and I accepted his explanation. But from my history, 20 years in the military, and you achieve the rank of 03, that's no big accomplishment. You get that like 5 years out of the Naval Academy. So that's why I had my issues, and he explained it. He went to some special school and some special program, and I was fine with it. It's no problem. But I mean, he's never had an issue before until this came up, and then this came up from what I hear, and that he's going after you guys, which you were his biggest allies before.
I mean, up until the other day, even after that, actually, I would say I wouldn't call us allies or anything like that, but we had a history with the guy. We had a certain amount of friendship, and I guess it was all predicated on our prior service and stuff like that. I can hold my prior service and my veteran status at bay and be objective about things, though. I don't need to just follow someone blindly as if it's the word of God when they talk, and that's the part that some people can't seem to capture.
Aloe, you still have that email, right? What did it exactly say? That he's a psychopath, that he's a power freak, that he walks on everybody that's ever served under him?
I got an email that was last year during the whole veterans issue, and somebody contacted me and introduced himself as a guy who has worked with him, who has served with him, and said that if I need more information about him, then I should get in touch with that person. And I don't want to accuse anybody of anyone, but I do believe that it was fake. I believe that it was the person who sent that is probably also the person who has sent information using an encrypted email service, sending information to certain channels, talking or giving them information, obviously fake information about me and Popeye. We have seen that when a certain vlogger did a live stream, and then people saw his inbox, and people over on Discord checked that and found out that it is an encrypted email service. And I do, I put one and one together, and I believe it is the same individual who works with these kind of methods. That's all I can say, because it's pure speculation. I do not know who sent that to
Yeah.
me, and obviously it is somebody who probably wanted to get more information about my location using some IP tracker and so on and so forth.
That's lower than the fucking trolls, man. When you do shit like that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
pretty
but
bad.
that is what is happening right now. That's why I'm very, very careful about when you receive emails and so on and so forth, because there are people out there who really say, "Look, I'm on your side," and I just wonder what they say to the other side. And I'm referring to the time around August, September of 2017. And obviously, you guys, I mean, you will also get emails like that, I believe. But I would like to ask you: have you seen? Because I saw earlier that you left me a message. Also, you asked me if I have seen Jeremy Clotfelter's
Yeah, I did.
video, and I must say, yes, I did. I catched a part of it live, and then I went back and then listened to it again. Can you tell us what you think about it?
He makes some interesting points and kind of pokes holes in the whole story there, the Baggio stories. I mean, he was right, claiming that he threw Johnny Warrior out of a taxi. He's right. He's what, a 170? Johnny's what, 260? That wouldn't happen. Okay, so that's the first part of the story that doesn't make sense. That he threw Johnny Warrior out of the taxi. It did seem kind of weird at the time that someone would tell somebody that they had sex with their mother. That's just weird. I don't think anybody would do that, even if they did do that. So I had some reservations about the whole story from them back then. And I think he makes some valid points. I'm like Popeye, I'm on the fence about this. And there is something weird about the guy, but at the same time, there are some holes in their story, Erickson.
Now, hey, Will, let me
story.
ask you about this. I caught one of his vlogs, Jeremy's vlogs, where he talked about how he was a drug addict. And he talked about from the time he overdosed and all the way up to his recovery. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think something like that would take credibility away from what he's saying now?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I do. Well,
I mean, Will, listen.
The problem with Jeremy is Jeremy's 39 years old. He has no valid career path. He might have been a drug addict. If he was testifying in a court of law, he wouldn't have very much credibility against a decorated veteran. I'm just saying, that's the way life is.
But let me tell you this: when somebody goes out there and puts out the blog and talks about his drug addiction and the path of recovery that he has taken, I think that takes some. I mean, he must have balls to do that, and openly talk about his past, where he admits, look, I had a phase in my life where I really struggled, and this is how I got back on my feet, and now I'm doing vlogs. I don't think that it takes away any credibility. I think it's the opposite, because then when people tell you about the ugly things in their life and in their past, it always, in my book, always adds to their credibility. That's just my opinion. What do you think?
Well, we have this thing going on now. There's a Demi Lovato case where she's been using drugs for years, and she was sober, and now she's getting everyone's sympathy. but she's been a drug addict her whole life, and any basically their history, how they'll act in the future, and it's clear cut. The people that actually get off drugs and stay off them their whole life is very rare. Is very, very rare, and they typically have a substitute drug where they go to methadone or something like that. From that standpoint,
once you're an addict, you're always an addict. Is that not correct, Will?
Correct.
Okay.
So I don't know if it leads to it. It might lead to his credibility. I mean, there were other holes in the story, like holes in the story that if you trademark a name, why would you register the domain names? That's the stupidest thing in the world. You own the trademark. Why was the name trademark in the first place? Just to piss them off? And if we look at talking about past, I mean, since I follow Johnny, he's had multiple business ventures that have fallen. I mean, basically came to nothing. I mean, he had the executive intelligence brief service. He had the outdoor adventure, the survival courses, intelligence jobs he had applied for and was going to get. And now he's wearing Oklahoma Alley, cleaning up after his ex-wife. I mean, something's going on there. So I'm just saying how things are. And I wish him the help he needs.
All right, I think that's a fair assessment, and but I'm not trying. I just asked the question, Elo. I'm not saying that to have an addiction would invalidate your what you were saying.
Yeah, I understand your comment. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, it does take guts to admit it, and it doesn't. But it does take guts to admit it. But it would lessen his credibility in a court of law, in an investigative proceeding.
Okay,
that's how it is, unfortunately.
But for all intents and purposes, there's no court of law here. So
yeah, that's also true.
Yeah.
The expat court.
Thanks for your assertion there, Will, for dragging that shit out, fucker.
Your Honor.
He popped our bubble.
I think it's kind of brave that he talked about his addiction. Will, I take it you've got some drug and alcohol counseling experience behind you too.
Yeah, sure. I used to work at Teen Challenge, so I know all about that.
Right. Okay. So and I have UADC experience also, and that's not an easy thing, and it kind of in a way, when you're putting that out there, you're opening yourself up wide to criticism, man. That's like spreading out your legs and standing behind bowling pins and waiting for the ball to come in because somebody's going to make some snide comment about you. I just saw Jersey Boys. That's why I thought of that. Somebody's going to make some snide comment about you. There's going to be an angry troll or maybe even another vlogger or somebody that says something about it. So that at least helps shape my opinion a little bit better of the guy. I'm still, like I said, on the fence about the whole thing, but I could see where there's probably a nugget of truth in what he says and a nugget of truth in what they say, and the truth lies somewhere in between. Because as they say, at the end of the day, emotions reign supreme in these little expat spats, and you get very embellished stories a lot of times.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I just want to hear the other side because I got a good feeling there's going to be a rebuttal. Okay, mm-hmm. There will be a rebuttal, sure. And I will listen to it closely. Guaranteed, I will listen to it closely. All right, and then I'm going to look at it, and I'm probably going to come to this conclusion that, okay, this guy said this, that guy said that. It's so muddied and murky now. Where do you find the truth? Okay, and who knows? Because one thing I do believe in: sooner or later, the truth comes out. And I'll guarantee you, and I'll caution everybody, there will be some. I'll use the term John Doe, which means anonymous dickhead, who'll pop his fucking head out and actually have all the facts and truth sooner or later. That's one way it may happen.
Yeah, but
and
our
another
president
way
talks about alternative truths. So what's the
Yeah.
alternative truth?
Yeah. And another way it may happen is there's an old Filipino saying, and I love it, man. You can catch the fish from their mouth, okay? And
Like eating the shit from your corn.
yeah, and they just spit it right out of their mouth. Yeah, exactly. They just spit it right out of their mouth, and they say the truth and don't even realize they're saying the truth, and they catch themselves up. Okay.
What is Frank's issue with you, Dave? He just goes on and on, video after video about eating corn out of shit and all kinds of stuff.
Because
it's crazy.
That's Popeye saying, and Popeye came on for a show and we laughed about some of the silly stuff that was going on. So now it's, you can pick the corn out of my shit. You burp on the air. How dare you, you fat fuck, Dave? You know, all that stuff.
I find it hilarious.
I'm
not angry. He was, I'm not angry. I have no ill will.
I love that, man. He should just do an hour of
That's hilarious. I think I think the situation with Jeremy and them resolved itself. I mean, he moved to Thailand, and they live in the Philippines. Everything seems to resolve. I don't know why it keeps coming up. Who cares? It's their business. I mean,
well, do you think
the only reason we care about it is.
Will, do you think it come up because of the situation that's going on right now? And
yeah, I think the fact that Johnny seems to have turned on you guys.
Yeah.
I think the fact that Johnny seemed. I mean, you guys had a falling out, you and Johnny, and you guys were close. You guys were butt buddies, man. I thought you guys were in a threesome together before, you know. So I mean, Alla were always the left liberals that suck tranny dick, and you guys were the conservative whatever, So I'm surprised that you guys had a falling out.
They were the SS and we were the Jews. That's what you're trying to say.
Exactly.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious, Aloe. I like that. Oh shit! Yeah, but we'll see, and I guarantee it'll come out in the wash. And I said if I have to issue an apology, I will. Because I can admit when I'm wrong. And
honestly, Popeye, it's not really about do you have to do it or not, but if you feel like doing it. And I felt like, yes, I do owe him an apology because you know what I said. I went after him, and at some point, I asked myself, why the fuck am I bashing this guy? Because I admit that I'm very transparent about this. I love bashing people. I love a good bashing here on Riff Raff Radio.
No,
and
not you, Aloe.
The community came together.
The nicest guy in the world.
Because some of us guys, and I'm talking only about myself here, are attack trolls for hire, and I'm one of them. And people came to me and say, hey, what do you think about this guy? Let's go after him. And then I said, yeah, let's do it. And then I realized, wait a second, why do I fucking attack this guy? Why am I doing this? And I look at his
because you have no. That's because you're a Rio trash and you have no upbringing.
Is your family tree a stump there, Aloe? Huh?
No, look, I look at his vlogs and he makes a lot of sense. Honestly, on a more serious note, he had a guy on. The guy's name is Steve, I believe. And he met that guy on a visa run going to Laos. And then that guy, Steve, the guy's probably like 35 to 40 years old. I do not know. The guy is an American guy who moved from the States to Pattaya, was an English teacher, talks about his experience in Pattaya, and he really explained everything in a very easy way for you to understand and probably even feel a certain connection to what he says. Very interesting. And I think that if we could have something like that where people come on a show and talk about their experience, the transition from the West to the East, that is really good stuff right there on Jeremy's channel. And the same thing is true for his racism blog, where he talked about Filipinos calling Americans "Hey Joe" or staring at them, and he explained what their true intention is, that it is not racism, that it's not discrimination, it's more like curiosity and things like that. And that's quite impressive for a guy who has not really been living in the Philippines too long. And I believe that he is a type of guy, whatever he does and says on his channel, there are a lot of parallels when it comes to the expat experience, because obviously there is a reason why people always compare the Philippines to Thailand, and why there are vloggers out there who move from Thailand to the Philippines and vice versa. And I think he is an interesting type of vlogger, a true travel vlogger, because he actually travels around. You know, he actually goes to places and vlogs about it. And I think that he really brings something to the table. And you might not like what he says, or how, you know, his accent, or the way how he acts on cam, whatever. But I believe that he is not the bad guy some people try to portray him. I think he is not the devil that some people try to portray him. And I believe that, again, there is another side to the story. And who are we to judge? Because we were not there, and we didn't hear any sound bites. We didn't see any live streams where he indeed did threaten people, or do any of that. I'm not saying that he didn't do what other people say he did, but I'm just here to say that Alo de Winter has no beef with Jeremy Clotfelter. That's what I'm
Oh,
trying
come
to
on. He
say.
was, my life is in danger. I have to leave the Philippines right now. Come on.
I think Aloe, man, you're having a quintessential emotion. Okay? And your Oscar winning performance is just out of this fucking world. I love you, buddy, man. I'm just out fucking standing, but you know, we'll see what comes out of the wash.
We'll see what
on
happens,
this
yeah.
one.
And you know what is
Yeah.
the good thing about the Riff Raff Radio crew? We can take this and look at it and discuss it, debate it, and talk about it, and nobody really gets angry about it, you know, because I'm not going to start to yell at you and say, no, 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 Popeye, you owe him an apology, and then you would say, no, Alo, you are just trying to stick up for this guy now, blah blah blah, and everybody starts to yell, and then the whole channel falls apart, and we start to support other channels who go after each of one of each one of
Yeah,
you know,
you're
Alo.
talking about crab mentality is what you're talking
Exactly,
about there.
exactly. And you know, let me just tell you that to all the guys who are listening right now, Riff Raff Radio is as strong as ever, even stronger now than it was before. The channel is not falling apart, because I have heard that out there. You know, these guys will turn against each other, and so on and so forth. You know, let me just tell you this: if you see that any of us are turning against each other, always think that it might just be staged, because that's the stuff that we do over here on the Riff Raff Radio. Or when you heard that
You mean you're not gonna fall asleep and get drunk and fall asleep on a live
or
stream?
when you guys heard that I was trying to, when Popeye put that rumor out there, where he said that I was trying to commit suicide and stuff
It's
like
true,
that.
goddammit, it's true.
Or that Peter died and everybody jumped on the bandwagon. The root, you know, when you trace back,
You drive that piece of shit on.
right here,
Oh.
right
Oh,
here on to Riff Raff Radio.
Here's a funny one. Here's a funny one. Apparently, I've been accused by Prunk of being the one that started the whole Fazio thing, which couldn't be further from the fucking truth. That's retarded. He knows who started it. He knew it was trolls in Big Kevin's chat. Don't try to lie. You know, if you weren't such a pathological liar, maybe people would take you seriously when you're doing vlogs about owning pets in the Philippines. My God.
Hey,
You know,
you guys wanna-
everybody knows that it was not you. I mean, we know where that came from, and Fazio himself knew it.
Called him.
and he called them out for it. I don't think that Fazio ever mentioned us in any way that we had anything to do with that. And besides of that, I don't give a shit about if Fazio is still around or not. I mean, there's really no incentive to it to put the word out there that he's not around anymore. So we have absolutely nothing to do with it. I know that Dave has nothing to do with it. I believe it is just one of these fabricated lies because certain people are very frustrated with you, Dave, and I do not really know why. Because you were called the Wikipedia of hate. And I felt a little bit, I felt a little bit jealous because I have spoken about this with you, Dave, a couple of days ago. I would have appreciated it that if somebody would call me something like that, like the Oxford Dictionary of Slander, and Popeye would be the Webster's of hate or libel or something like that.
Well,
Right.
Aloe, let's get back to the main topic, what's John Doe. And I want to give you a female's perspective of this star on our show today, John Doe, and what an actual female Filipina thinks of John Doe. All right. And I will read this verbatim. Okay. And this is from Malou. And she says, my opinion of John Doe. I like the guy. He is upfront and hello. His joke is very sarcastic. People need to deal with it. Why is JW didn't talk to John Doe personally? If he got hurt on what he had to say on air over there, John Doe is John Doe, period. It was a joke. What's the big deal? I don't get JW. On one of the shows, he was trying to be positive and get along with people. And then here, he is bashing John Doe. JW, you need to chill, man. He is just he is not just stepping on your toes, but everyone else's. It's not like he is a threatening your family. My opinion, get it, peeps. Anybody had a problem with my comment? Go take a cold shower and after drink a cold beer. All right, that's a Filipino's perspective of our little star, John Doe. And I use that sarcasm because I'm speaking of John Doe. And, uh, he uses all that dripping sarcasm. So, Aloe, I say to you, what do you think of that comment?
First of all, I really appreciate the fact that you read it out loud because I think it is quite interesting that even a Filipino would say, "Look, John Doe is John Doe," and there is a reason why he's on Riff Raff radio, and I believe a lot of people feel the same way. Um, when you are on a panel, you don't necessarily need to be uh, your opinions don't need to be synchronized because then what's the sense? Obviously it is a very colorful panel here. People are quite controversial in some ways. People, there are a lot of people who hate me, who despise me. There are obviously a lot of people who hate you, Popeye, and
Hell yeah!
Dave also
yeah.
gets his fair share of verbal attacks around here, and of course also John Doe. So when we put a panel together of all of us, including Roberto here, then yeah, that's what Riff Raff Radio stands for. But let me tell you a few things about Malu Martin, because that's the person who wrote this comment. I have seen her commenting also on my channel, and I must say that she always leaves very smart and good comments, and it's rather unusual that the Filipina is writing comments on our channel, because I believe that there are days when we have like 100+ people listening that we might not have one single lady listening to our live streams, and having one that is very opinionated and writes comments such as the one that you just read out loud is always very welcome. Let's ask John Doe what he thinks about that.
Well, what stood out for me in the Malou comment of greatest significance is the fact that here you have a Filipina, and if anybody has dealt with Filipinas and know Filipinos, often they don't they may not get the American joke, and definitely wouldn't understand American sarcasm. I mean, they don't, it's different cultures, and that's very understandable, different languages. So very reasonable. So now here you have a Filipina that completely understands the joke and the sarcasm. And then on the other side, you got an American guy who doesn't get the joke and the sarcasm, and he's just going ballistic. So I think that's the significance there.
That's clever.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. But I think honestly, just my personal opinion, I don't think it is really about the joke. It is a dislike of you as a person for a very long time that has built up, and the joke itself was just a trigger to.
Yeah, it's like a can of soda you shake and then you open it and it explodes.
Because nobody really gets mad because of something like that. But if you hold a grudge against somebody, and that person makes a joke, then you will use that and as a trigger.
Well, somebody's holding a grudge against you now.
Yeah, and then you take. Many people hold a grudge against me.
Oh, let me tell you the grudge. The grudge has to do with a jeepney over a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, remember the jeepney and everything you said you were going to do? I don't want to repeat it verbatim.
Yeah, I believe it has also to do with something like that,
Yeah.
And I always thought that because we had a conversation about that, a private conversation about that with the person involved, and I always felt like that we left that behind us, and we had we know there was no problem anymore. And now I hear this on every show, and I believe I expect that this will become a topic again. But let me tell you this: I'm ready for that. I also have sound bites, and I also have. I can also explain my side, and things were taken out of context. But if that is a topic that certain people want to put back on the agenda and talk about it and use that against me, then so be it. Because at the end of the day, I do believe that you are right. Um, it's about me. It's about Alo getting more attention than others. It's about Alo being the big instigator, and that's probably one of the reasons why Riff Raff Radio was attacked as early as January, as early as December by certain people. And again, I don't want to throw you under the bus, Roberto, but before I mentioned it, people contacted you and tried to talk you out of being on Riff Raff Radio, of being a co-host on Riff Raff Radio. And I never really commented about that. I never publicly spoke about it, but I was well aware
Are
that.
you butthurt about it?
No, absolutely not. I just
Yeah, just
no,
wondering.
because I think it shows a person's intention when they contact you and say you shouldn't be on that show because Alo is the guy who is one of the main persons on that show, and Alo is also the guy who is behind Discord, which is actually not true. But then again, Discord is an absolutely great tool, for guys to come together, exchange information, and it is not a place where we it's not a place of conspiracies and the dark web or something like that, where we try to attack people, because I have heard that many times now. And maybe you can tell us a little bit more about that, Roberto. I mean, you don't need to name anybody, but that I am saying the truth. And I have always felt that certain people were influenced to stay away from our channel.
Well, I mean, just like anybody else, I mean, I get messages on Facebook, you know, saying, "Hey, I'm gonna start that Riff Raff Radio. I don't think you should be on there. You're not that type of guy." I go, "Well, I mean, if you guys heard me from the beginning, from day one, when I was with Sess, and then after Sess was Big Kevin, you know that my goal was to kind of police the YouTube community as far as the undesirable aliens that tends to flock to our country. So yeah, was been my goal. So I thought maybe, hey, Riff Raff Radio might be the type of show that we can start that kind of um, address those issues. So I didn't want, tell you the truth, when I got those messages, I told them, hey, I didn't want it to be an hate channel. Okay. And I go, if whatever Aloe wanted to do on his end, let him do that. And well, if you don't want it to be a hate channel, then why can't we just kick him out and do it ourselves? I said, well, Aloe's the voice of the Riff Raff Radio. That's what I wanted. I wanted him to be the voice of Riff Raff Radio. I'm not the type to talk for 2 hours. I'm not that big-winded. So, not that you're big-winded, Dave, that you can talk for 2 hours. I don't mean that.
I'll live, Roberto.
But I'm just a sidekick, you know, and we need Aloe. So yeah, you're right, Aloe. But I've always wanted to team up with you on something like this, so I ignore those.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all I
yeah.
got. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your statement. Yeah, but there you go, you know. And I always felt that there are people out there who do that behind my back because, you know, when you talk to the people, you always sense that there's a change in their behavior, and then I'm honest and transparent about it, and ask them, let me just ask you, did somebody tell you to not be on the show? And I have done that also with for instance, with you, Bob, you know, with you, Popeye. I think it was a couple of weeks ago where I asked you something like, look, Popeye, since we are talking openly here, let me ask you, did certain people try to talk you out of this? Did certain people attempted to influence you in a way to not be on the Riff Raff Radio? And what you told me then is not directly, as far as I remember, but they made comments about you have changed and they tried to steer your channel into a certain direction. And that for me was enough, you know, because I read between the lines and I knew, okay, you were also contacted, you were also talked to.
Oh yeah, there were a lot of pissed off people, Aloe, that I come on Riff Raff Radio and I did what I did. They even made comments like, you're betraying what you're doing on your own channel. But yet they'd turn around in the same breath and saying, well, this is how your own channel should go. No. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell Dave. I'm not going to tell John Doe. I'm not going to tell Roberto or anybody else how their channel should fucking go. All right? And I have a very sneaky suspicion who's behind it all now. And I'm reading comments in the chat where somebody is saying these are all this person's channels, and I hope that's not true. And like, I do have my eye on the fucking ball, and it just goes with what we were talking about earlier. Some people using disinformation campaigns
Mhm.
to steer their agenda and bring everybody in line. And what I said on my show while I was with Dave and JW having that lively conversation is that you cannot herd cats. Okay. And I was sorry I said that because I was watching the X Factor last night, and these two ladies in their late 40s, you know, brought their cats on and had them do tricks. Okay. So I was like, wow, I guess you can herd a cat. I guess I was wrong. And so, with that being said, I will just tell JW, get in contact with those two ladies and they will show you how to herd a cat. Okay.
But did they calf rope them?
Did it come again, bro?
Did they calf rope them though? I mean, and how much more fucking cool would it have been if they rode in on a pony and jumped off, flipped the cat upside down, and tied all its legs together, and
Yeah.
raised their hand and got a 9.9?
Yeah. And, everybody on the show was amazed, right? And so, what I can say about that, yeah, that's an anomaly. Okay. It's just an anomaly. And so, if you think for 1 minute, JW, you're going to herd all these expats that are doing YouTube under one tent, it's not going to happen. All right. I'm an individual. Okay. I'm an individual that worked for the U.S. Navy for 20 years and was in a collective. And we all marched to the same tune and did the same thing. And we did that for a reason. Okay. I am now a civilian. Okay. I am retired from the military. And I work every day not to bring my military side over into my civilian side and let that bleed over because that can have unbecoming consequences. Yeah, do I still use military jargon? Fuck yeah. It's hard to pound out of you. Do my arms swing when I walk? Fuck yeah. Do I walk in lockstep? Literally, yes. Okay. There are some things I will never be able to, let go of because it's all muscle memory. All right, it's ingrained in me. But
Do you also do parade rests?
yeah, shit, yeah. I mean, if I'm standing in the line in the DMV waiting, I'll go at parade rest. And I got caught doing it one time, man. And it was fucking hilarious, man. My kid called me on it and said, "The heck are you doing?" And I said, "I know." I was a little embarrassed. I got called out by my own kid, but shit happens. All right, shit
As long
happens.
as long as you don't salute in front of the cashier, it's all right.
Yeah. And I didn't want to turn my channel into the VA channel like some people want to do. And the reason why I didn't want to do that is because there are agencies you can go to get all this information. You can get all this information online. I mean, even if you're just like at a IQ level of 70, you can read it, comprehend it, get through it, and take care of your own fucking business. But all I see is with that kind of channel is the righteous indignation. We got to take care of our own. It's a bit redundant, and I'm personally into brevity. Get right to the point, rip the fucking band-aid off, say it like it is. All right, and I'd say the only thing that really upsets me is when people get fucking too long-winded and use college doublespeak. And I don't like that. And don't use college doublespeak on me. Just say it, okay? I'm not impressed with it. Never have, never will be. Simple as that, Ella.
I understand. Yeah. I would like to put out something else there and give you a short update about what is going on with Bebots. A lot of people came out of the woodworks and are talking about him, and I believe this will continue to be a very big topic for many bloggers, and I believe that's okay, that's good. I always questioned the fact that those who are screaming the loudest now have not been around when Bebots was doing his live streams. And when you go back and listen to some of these live streams, they talk to him in a way that you might think that they were best of friends and knew each other. And Dave and I and a couple of other guys, we are on record that we always try to call him out, heckle his live streams, and corner him because we knew what he was all about. And I mentioned that last week. That's something that I'm actually quite proud of. Talk about positivity and contributing something valuable to the community. I would like to talk to the guys out there, all the guys who are doing live streams, also the guys who are in the chat room, because everybody can help us with following uh, issue or following topic that I am about to explain to you. Bebots now is in jail, and I was told by a guy, and you know who you are. Thank you very much for all the things that you are doing when it comes to Bebots and other things, because this is a guy who is out there providing the authorities with information, valuable information about what is going on right now. I was told that the court in Columba, I believe, or where Bebos is in jail now, we or has filed or charged him with two non-bailable offenses or non-bailable felonies, whatever you call that. I'm obviously not a lawyer,
He ain't
and
getting out, in other words.
yeah, he won't be getting out of jail anytime soon. And when you know a little bit about the Philippines justice system, you know that when it says non-bailable, it means that it will take several years up until you will get your first hearing. And since it's non-bailable, you won't get out of jail. So that's good news. That's good news for the community. But there is another problem or another issue, and that's the people who availed of the services Paybots was offering to them, his customers and his clients. And currently, there are guys out there, thanks to them, we found out that there's a certain guy who is based in Thailand, an American national, who was disbarred by the California State Bar for fraud because he stole checks and falsified the signature, and then later on moved to Thailand. For a very long time, we did not know who that person was. Thanks to one guy who listened very closely, um, we found out who this person is. We got his full name. We got pictures of him.
Yep.
We know where he lives and works. And we have sound bites where he explains in detail his interaction with Bebots. So, what I would like to do is if you are a live streamer, if you have a show, that you would take a close look at this and help us to make this guy famous, because I believe that he deserves a little bit more attention than what he is getting now. I want the community to come together and make sure that this individual will be held accountable for engaging in, I would call that, sexual activities or sexual exploitation of minors. He might think that what he did is not a problem, that it is absolutely legal, because the age of consent in the Philippines is obviously very low. But again, I didn't say or attack that person. I just said that he was transacting with Bebots And he mentioned that there was also a financial transaction between him and Bebots as the middleman between him and these young girls. We even have pictures and photos of the girls that he was with. And again, if you listen to the sound bites, and we have copies of all these sound bites, and I believe it's still up there on YouTube itself, you will hear what he did, how he engaged Bebots in all these disgusting activities. What can you do about this? If you have a show, I believe you could bring it up and discuss it. If you are a guy who is usually in the live chat and commenting, you post that link, you spread the word, you put it out there, and make this guy famous. Because I believe we did very similar things in the past, when we called out Peter for his behavior of stealing and going to internet cafes and not paying for the services there. Everybody, or a lot of people, came together and said, you know what, let's make this guy famous. Let's put him on Facebook. Let's spread the word. Let's leave comments. Let's discuss about this guy, where he is from, and what he is doing. And I think that that's one of the things that we can do in the Philippine expat community, because all the guys who said, Bebots is a bad guy, they can now prove that this time around they'll get a second chance, and they can prove that they will do their part to make sure that this guy will be held accountable. Because these guys who are lurking in the shadows, they hate it when you put them in the spotlight, because all of a sudden they are not so proud anymore when they talk about tits and about about the sexual performance of children. And somebody who is 14 or 15 in my book is a child. And I'm not talking about the legal age of consent. I'm talking about a very disgusting, sick individual who is exploiting poor girls in the Philippines. And again, we have the evidence, we have the sound bites. So if you want to do something about this, if you can, for 1 second, put away your grudge that you hold against Riffraff Radio or against certain individuals on this panel, and say, look, I want to do something positive, I want to do something that is valuable, then get in touch with us. I believe that there will be two scenarios, scenario 1 and 2. Scenario 1 would be the positive outcome, and I would be rather surprised if that would happen. Scenario 1 would be when several live streamers, even the ones who don't really like us, would contact us and say, hey guys, I have listened to your show and I want to do something about it. Please give us the info. We will make this guy a topic on our show. That would be perfect, and I would be greatly thankful for that. Or scenario 2, nobody will contact us and say, it's Riffraff Radio talk, it's just bullshit. But then do not blame us that we are always about drama and negativity. Do not say that we are just here to talk shit, because I think that this is a very important issue. And I also believe that those guys who are bashing Bebots, rightfully so, can prove now that there is a second chance for them. Because honestly, you guys are aware of the fact that when Bebots was still around, they were nowhere to be found. They didn't talk about Bebots. They always had this attitude of, it's not my problem. They look the other way. Now that Bebots is in jail, they crawl out of their caves and say, look, I told you so. You guys should have done something. This is a second chance. Sound bites, full name, picture, evidence, everything is there. Come and see us, come and talk to us. Let's do something about this. That's all I got to say.
All right. I'll tell you this, Salo. Popeye 1 will mull over everything you just said. And my channel will take action as deemed appropriate. Okay? And you made a lot of good, valid points there. Uh, I liked what you had to say. yeah, you say you got all the proof. I give you the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see what action Popeye One channel takes going forward. But I will not just dismiss it in hand like I know other people will. And that's why I did the blog that I did. And I want to give a shout out to Ian Holt
Mm.
for the fantastic photo he made up, photos, plural. And it's guys like him that give me the creativity to express myself about the situation. And when you're talking about people crawling out from underneath the rocks, yeah, that's what that blog was that I did is all about people crawling out of their rock and then turning around and throwing shit on other people that maybe don't deserve it. You know what I'm talking about here, Aloe?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I understand. Mhm.
And I don't want to see that happen. Okay? And I'll guarantee you, if you know other bloggers uh, fulfill your request, I guarantee you, and I'll guarantee them, yeah, you're going to get people that will rail against you. All right, so you have to decide I, whether or not you're willing to take the heat. Okay, and believe me, my channel has taken heat for things that I have said and people that I have railed against. Okay, and I'm quite willing to do it. I'll take it. I'll answer the question. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But other channels are going to have to make that decision. Do they want to take that heat? Do they want their channel to be known for that? Really think it over. I mean, if I can say to you, if you say you're part of the expat community and you have a connection with Philippines and the East, even Patia, think it over. I mean, because I believe it's the right thing to do. When you see somebody engaged in criminal and really atrocious behavior, such as Aloe spoke about, it needs to be called out. A finger needs to be pointed, plain and simple. And that's exactly what Riff Raff Radio here is doing today. We're not we're not just sitting here going blah blah blah, no content. I mean, because I will tell you frankly, it is very shameful and very foolish to pass out on your live stream drunk and snore. Okay, just remember that. Okay, and
Repeat it.
yeah, and it's very shameful and foolish to to acquire a link to Discord and come in and start taking fucking screenshots. Okay, and my latest vlog, Enemy of the State, points that out. And if you don't like it, pick the corn out of my shit and eat it. Okay? No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yes.
Okay?
All right.
All I got to say about that.
We're nearing the top of the hour, so I want to give our guests a chance to speak since you guys are closing out the show. That's pretty good, by the way. So, what about you, Roberto? Sounds like Roberto's in hot pursuit of a cop.
Yeah. Let me make a statement I made a while back. I don't know if it's on this show or it must be on this show. And it's true, and I'll explain why. I said that 99.99% the expat goes to the Philippines are undeserved. Explain. Jump the gun. And then this is 1% of those, or 0.1% of those, are there legitimately. Let me give you example number one. we have a guy named Frank. Okay, Frank lived in New York and moved to Seattle. I was in Seattle. He had 3 bankruptcy claims on him, and he's saying that he stuck whatever. He has issues legally. He's here to hiding from something. Example number 2. This guy called Peter. Okay. Peter was a guy that was taking dingling out in public and went to court. He claims, oh, it was just one day, I got released the next day. Better. You still a freaking bastard put dingling out kids. So was here in the Philippines fight for something. Then we got 3. We have a guy named, what should I call him? Bama. Hey, there's no other name I can call him. Bama. Came to the Philippines because he's in the States because, he has issues with his wives, stuff like that. Also has on him money that he owns. He's here in the Philippines and all that. Okay. I mean, I could go on and, it comes to the Philippines. Okay. There's only that 1%. They're married to the Philippines, try to themselves. Okay. And that's what radio is all about. We need to weed out those undesirable idiots. Okay. And I'm going to continue that as long as I'm with Ref Radio. I told you guys that I retired from YouTube and all that, and I explained to you that, hey, I couldn't do that. Working, whatever, I just couldn't get off YouTube. I think that's just part of the lure of the YouTube. I wanted to
Your addiction.
Going on. I want to see who's doing what. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't, but that's all I got to say.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome, and we've still got John Doe to cover.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for having me on the panel. And just to close out the JW controversy, I mean, you guys gave him the opportunity to come on the panel to speak for himself. He chose not to. And for others to come on, I mean, of course, everyone's free to say whatever they like here, but to speculate what he says and what he does is due to some kind of military caused mental or psychological affliction. We don't know. I mean, that was for JW to maybe come on and speak for himself about. I mean, my personal feeling is that if JW came out of the military with a psych issue, I have a feeling he went into the military with that psych issue. So he had that opportunity to come on and defend himself. I mean, we would have, or you guys certainly would have given him the opportunity to speak his mind. Even I wouldn't have been, hard on him. I was here with a tube of KY, so I was gonna give it to him with the lube as opposed to without the lube. So I mean, he chose. So maybe we could just put this to bed because he didn't want to talk about it, and that's fine, So. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you, guys.
Yay! We've had another successful broadcast of Riff Raff Radio, and it was a productive one. And I even talked this time. And I want to thank everybody that was, Aloe, Popeye, John Doe, Roberto, Will Wonks. Shame he had to leave. And next time, maybe Big MJ Vlogs can get on here. We can bounce a few questions off of him as well. JW was given ample time to come on the show and ask direct questions to John Doe, and apparently refused to. That's fine. But just remember, you had the opportunity. All right. We will see you on the next broadcast. Thank you for tuning in, and shalom.
Thank you very much. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Take
Good
care.
night,
everybody.
everybody.
All right.